Kelly, Mr. Smith.
Hello, Naomi. How do you do it?
Do what?
Manage to look so cool on a hot day like this.
Every day is like this in Quebec. I have been used to it since I was born.
Mr. Riddell in?
Mr. Riddell is always into you. We are not used to Americans who work so hard in this heat.
Yes, come in.
Mr. Kelly and Mr. Smith.
Oh, all right.
Oh, well, now, that's a rousing welcome. Oh, Naomi, would you put a call through to Mr. Hayter out at the Wells, please?
Mr. Hayter?
What do you want to talk to him about?
Well, any objections?
I guess not. All right, you see if you can reach him, Naomi.
Yes, Mr. Riddell.
Why don't you want us to talk to Hayter?
Don't see the point in it, that's all. You've been nosing around here for a week and you haven't found anything.
Of course, we've gotten a lot of cooperation.
You've done what you were hired to do. Your job's over.
The company hired us because they're not satisfied with the amount of oil coming through. Now, if the bottleneck isn't here at the refinery, it must be out at the wells or on the pipeline.
There is no bottleneck.
If that's the way it is, that's the way we'll report it. Now, look, we can understand you resenting us. Nobody likes outsiders being brought in to check up on them.
It's just that we know this district. We've been in here before. They thought maybe we could find more than somebody from the Home Office.
You've bummed around a lot of places from the way I hear it. Anything for $1, eh?
Meaning what?
Sorry. I didn't mean any offense.
I am sorry. The lines to the wells are down again. I was not able to reach Mr. Hayter.
Well, how soon will they be fixed?
That is hard to say. The service is very bad. Often we have no telephone communication for days.
Yeah.
And Hassan would like to see you at once in the refinery.
Very well, Naomi. You can stay around if you want to. But if you take my advice, you'll get out of here and send in your report. I'll have your checks made out immediately.
Thanks, loads.
Oh, and Naomi, thanks.
Yes. It is hard to understand what you could accomplish by phone. I should think you would like to see the wells and the pipeline yourselves.
No more walking trips for me this year.
There is a cargo plane leaving for the wells tomorrow. There is always room for passengers. I shall be on it myself.
You?
For my vacation. My brother works at the wells. And you could return by camel caravan. If the caravan should happen to travel along the pipeline, that is not unusual. It is often used as a convenient guide across the mountains between here and the desert.
Naomi, Riddell might not like this. Why are you doing it?
Oh, maybe to help two hard-working Americans in a strange land. Who knows?
Hiya.
Oh, where have you been? Thought you were just going to check that cargo plane.
Sure, but the pilot had to check the office, and the office said no.
The office, you mean Riddell?
Well, they didn't say that, but who else?
And we're not going, huh?
Now, we're going. I showed the pilot our letter from the Home Office. Told him I report him for interference. And I told him he could tell Riddell that.
I don't trust him. You think that guy could be a man who... That's the fastest man I ever saw.
You sure it was a man?
No, but it was an Arab. Why?
Handwriting could be a woman's.
If you want information about oil shortage, meet me at Ali Bey's Bazaar tonight.
Could save us a plane ride.
Sure, what do I got to lose?
There's no chance of finding him in these alleys. Is he dead?
You're timing up to say one thing. El Pima.
El Bima. Looks like somebody doesn't want us on that plane.
It also looks like we got somebody on our side.
Suppose those lines really are down.
Well, maybe. That clerk looked like he could be bribed with a jelly bean. Tell me, what does a well-dressed camel driver wear? Yeah?
Riddell. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello.
We didn't expect a social visit from you.
I haven't come to say goodbye, if that's what you mean.
You heard we were flying out, huh?
Yes, I did. Carolyn,
Yes.
Mr. Kelly, and Mr. Smith. Miss Carolyn Hayter.
How do you do?
Well, hi, how are
How
you?
are you?
You?
Carolyn is Mr. Hayter's niece, just in from the States. She very much wanted to meet you, gentlemen. She has some idea about flying out to the Wells with you in the cargo plane. I tried to persuade Miss Hayter that it would be much more sensible to wait here for her uncle in Quebec.
Why, something wrong?
No, of course not.
It wasn't that he said anything specific, but his letters had sort of a worried feeling. He seemed changed.
There's nothing the matter with your uncle. You're imagining these things.
Something wrong with the Wells?
Nor is there anything the matter at the Wells.
Well, then why don't you want me to go?
The Wells is no place for a woman. Besides, I don't know that I like you traveling around with these men. They're a pair of adventurers about whom we know nothing.
That's the second crack you've made.
I merely said I don't know anything about you.
Oh, now please let me be the judge. Look, you're sweet to worry, but I'm going. I've come a long way to see Uncle Alan. There's really no good reason for me to stop now. If you won't let me take the plane, then I guess I'll just have to hire a native guide.
Miss Hayter, that is quite out of the question.
Is it? Mr. Riddell, you may control your oil wells, but you don't control me.
Very well, then. However, you must realize that neither I nor my company can be held responsible for your safety.
Thank you. I take that responsibility. Gentlemen, will you take me?
Riddell may be right, but... Okay, Miss Hayter.
Carolyn. And,
Tim.
Tim?
I'm Toubo. You can call me anything.
Gentlemen, you seem to have arrived at your own decision. But I want you to realize that the safety of Miss Hayter is entirely in your hands.
Uncle Alan? Oh,
Oh, you, I suppose, are Miss Carolyn. You do.
how do you do?
Kelly?
Right here. How do you do?
You do. Mr. Smith?
Yes, sir.
Miss Ulida?
Yusef?
You two know each other?
We have met many times in Quebec. This is Yusef, Mr. Hayter's office assistant.
How do you do? Mr. Riddell told me you were coming.
By phone?
Well, this time we were fortunate the lines are not often repaired so swiftly.
Can you tell me where my uncle is?
Well, I'm sorry. He's been away from the wells for a week. I'm not sure just when he will return.
Away? Where?
Well, we have many oil installations on the desert and the mountains. Your uncle often stays away for weeks at a time. There's nothing to be concerned about. Knowing you would arrive today, I've been arranging quarters for you. Unfortunately, there are no servants now at Mr. Hayter's house. Therefore, if you don't mind a little inconvenience, you may stay at the company guest house.
Well, perhaps Miss Hayter would like to stay with me at my brother's house. Oh, I'd like that very much.
Good. I think Miss Hayter might find that more comfortable. I'm sure you ladies are tired from your trip.
It was rather a rough ride.
Yes, then our driver will take you to Miss Ulida's.
Thank you. Will you come up and see us?
Sure.
The roads will be improved a little each year, but it's a very slow job. Everything will be possible.
Now, gentlemen.
You get out in the field much?
No, only the office work. Mr. Hayter runs what you call a one-man show. He's also very close-mouthed.
Is that his office?
Yes. It is always locked when he's away.
Where's the key?
With him.
Well, that's too bad.
He tripped. Mr. Smith!
Better have that door fixed. Burglars, you know.
Why, that office hasn't been used in months.
As I said, Mr. Hayter is away quite often. I'm sure you gentlemen would like to rest, too.
No. Right now, he likes the layout. Right now.
Certainly, we can start with the main pumping station.
Oh, and you, sir. Did you ever hear of anyone named Elbima?
Elbima? Sounds like a man's name. No, never heard it. Well, gentlemen, have you seen everything you wanted to?
I guess so.
You asked for the reports on what we're pumping currently.
How does that figure compare with the one given us by the Home Office?
On the nose. If I may ask, I'm not quite sure exactly what it is you gentlemen are looking for.
That's disappearing oil. You pump, say, 5,000 barrels into that pipeline out there, but only 3,000 is getting into the tankers on the coast.
How could that be possible?
Somewhere they're stealing it. Somebody's getting a cut.
That's incredible.
Oh, Mr. Hayter knew about it. Didn't he tell you?
I explained to you that I don't share all of his confidences.
Haven't you heard from him yet?
No, I also explained to you that
I know that he spends many weeks away from the office.
I don't really see what help he could be to you when he returns. Frankly, what can he tell you that I haven't?
Frankly, you haven't told us anything.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Let's get back to town, Toubo.
If you wait in the car, I'll be with you in a minute. I have to lock up the files. Hello? This is Youssef. We're coming back to town. No, nothing at all.
Well, hello.
Don't pay any attention to him.
I won't. It's been a long time since I've heard an American wolf whistle. Hey, where have you boys been lately?
I've seen the wolves.
Oh, we looked at everything. Didn't find anything. It's also known as the Royal Runaround.
Oh, I'm sure everything will be all right when Uncle Alan gets back.
I brought the refreshments myself. The servant might be shocked at your costume.
Oh, well, I am getting a little pink. I guess I better change.
Naomi, I hate you.
I'm sorry.
Don't go away.
Is your brother home, Naomi? I'd like to meet him.
My brother has not been home since I arrived.
Oh.
You have found nothing?
Didn't you expect us to?
No, but I have. There is gossip in the markets. Mr. Hayter has not left the vicinity of the wells.
Then he is still here.
He has been taken to a house in the native settlement.
You mean he's hiding out?
I said he was taken. I can show you the place now if you'd like.
We like.
Oh, what about Carolyn?
From what I heard, it's best that she does not see her uncle now.
Mr. Hayter? Mr. Hayter!
Yes, that is Mr. Hayter.
Strangled and tortured.
Elbima.
Elbima? What do you know of Elbima?
Nothing.
Oh, yes, you do. That's why you brought us here.
No, I didn't.
Now, don't lie to me.
Uncle Alan!
What are you doing here?
Miss Carolyn was suspicious when you disappeared, so we followed you here.
What happened?
I'm sorry, Carolyn. I'm afraid he's been murdered.
Yes, and recently, not more than minutes ago.
You killed him. You killed him. Why?
You're hysterical.
Mr. Riddell was right. I should never have trusted you.
Listen to me. He was dead when we got here. Naomi will tell you.
Only a few, but more arrive every moment. I'm afraid there may be some violence.
Word certainly gets around fast.
A native grapevine.
It would work even faster if this little demonstration were planned.
Planned?
Well, a double lynching right now might be convenient for someone.
Yes, but who would do a thing like that? Naomi, perhaps? She's certainly been behaving mysteriously.
Or Elbima?
That's the second time you've spoken that name. What does it mean?
Oh, nothing. It's the words of a dying man. A dying man with a knife pointed at our backs.
Planned or not, they're getting unruly. We'll have to get you out of here.
What do I have to be afraid of? I didn't kill Uncle Alan.
Well, neither did we. You don't believe that, do you?
I don't know what to believe.
Is there another way out of here?
The private entrance, but where would you go? The plane's already returned to Quebec.
Is the air the only way to travel?
Who are you? How'd you get in here?
Your private entrance is not so private as you imagine. Soon those outside will remember it also. Is your party ready, Mr. Kelly?
Where do you know this man?
I am Ali, whose camels these gentlemen engaged to take them back to Quebec.
That's right. I'm sure glad you're on time, Ollie.
You were running away. You'd already planned it.
Aren't you glad? There'll be 3 in the party now.
She can't go with you. It's too dangerous.
Oh, yes, I can. I'm not going to let these men out of my sight until I've talked to the police at Quebec.
This is the first time I've ever felt seasick this far from the ocean.
Soon we will come to the pipeline. You will be interested. The main problem at this part of its length is rock slides. Yalla! 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 Ha! Ha! There, your pipeline. And a working crew. I said you would find it interesting.
Hey, Toubo.
Yeah?
See anything funny about that rock slide?
Yeah.
At right angles to the line?
Well, it looks like they're trying to cover up something.
Or maybe another pipeline.
How about that? An old-fashioned tap. Hey, these guys are pretty crude.
Pretty sure of themselves.
What is it?
Maybe the answer to your uncle's being killed.
Oh, it's nothing, just a pipeline.
Now, there's something wrong. Tell me what it is.
Well, that pipeline may be the answer to a lot of things. Might be the real reason that your uncle was killed.
What do you mean?
Hold it.
It is best to appear to have noticed nothing. The men are armed.
Carolyn. You know, she's been kind of hysterical lately. You don't suppose she cracked up?
Look. Pipeline. There she is.
Don't!
Keep your voice down. Sounds carry out here tonight. We don't know where those guys are bedded down.
I'm not afraid of them.
Well, I am. Now, where are you going?
To the pipeline, I had to know.
What do you hope to accomplish by that?
To find out who killed my uncle and why.
Do your uncle a lot of good if you get killed. Come on, let's go back.
No, I can't. I can't. My ankle.
Yusuf.
Quite so. Or El Bima, as I'm known to my followers. No need for guards. If you should become desperate, well, I admit to a certain fondness for this rather barbaric splendor, and it is helpful in increasing my following. Their loyalty is primitive. It's touching to recall that one of them died with my name on his lips.
What about his follower? The one who threw the knife?
There are some foolish enough to believe that El Bima can be stopped before his purposes are achieved.
Well, that's pretty big talk for a two-bit oil thief.
You think the oil was important? It was convenient. It financed my operations until I was ready to strike.
Strike?
Centuries ago, my ancestors ruled this area. Soon I will do so again.
How did you manage a big operation like this? Too many people must have known.
My men are everywhere. The others were afraid to whisper.
And Riddell?
Money. Mr. Riddell felt that for all his years spent with the Gold Oil Company, he had not been advanced fast enough financially. A bitter man is easy to reach, especially a bitter man fond of money.
And what about Hayter?
The weak link. A hard man to bribe from the beginning. But fortunately, Mr. Hayter had an overdeveloped appetite for the opposite sex. And fortunately, he was introduced to a charming young lady.
Hello.
Well, how's your ankle?
That's much better, thanks.
Yeah.
And, of course, Mr. Hayter wasn't your uncle.
Good gracious, no, that wouldn't be very nice.
You had her spying on us every minute. You killed Hayter because you were afraid we'd get to him.
He would surely have given everything away. And a murder charge would have kept you too busy to investigate my activities.
So what happens to us now?
Regretfully, my followers insist on death for those who oppose my goals. Of course, I regret it will not be swift or pleasant. My followers insist on enjoying these moments. There are many methods.
So I noticed. You used one very nicely on Mr. Hayter.
True. In your case, as you have been so much trouble to us, we will have something planned worthy of your importance. There's one even I find interesting.
Looks like the end of the line.
Oil.
This way, here. This way.
Nice work, Allie. Thanks.
Thank your friends.
Thank my sister.
Naomi.
Mr. Kelly, Mr. Smith,
Well, for a slip of a girl, you certainly get around.
we are prepared to give our lives to prevent Elbima from taking over our country.
His men are everywhere.
I hope you do not resent our deception.
Oh, don't give it a thought.
Well, I don't think Elbima is going to be much of a problem anymore.